Morning. We will discuss about coordinate proof, which is under the MELC 21. Many geometric properties can be proven by using a coordinate plane. A proof that uses figures on a coordinate plane to prove geometric properties is called a coordinate proof. To prove geometric properties using the coordinate proof, here are the following steps. First, use the origin as vertex or center of a figure. Place at least one side of a polygon on an axis. If possible, keep the figure within the first quadrant. You know why? Because it makes the computation simple and easy. Sometimes using coordinates that are multiples of 2 would make the computation easier. In some coordinate proofs, distance formula is applied. And again, distance formula is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Let us prove that diagonals of a rectangle are congruent using the methods of coordinate geometry. So given that quadrilateral ABCD with diagonals line segment AC and line segment BD, we need to prove that line segment AC is congruent to line segment BD. Okay, to prove, place the quadrilateral ABCD on a coordinate plane. So, lagay na natin siya sa ating Cartesian coordinate plane. So, ganito yan. So, as much as possible, sabi kanina, ilagay natin siya sa first quadrant. So, here, this is the first quadrant. Mas madali dito kasi ang mga coordinates ay positive-positive. Okay, next step na gagawin natin is to label the coordinates. So, ganito po yon. So, ayan. Dito, ang ginamit ko, of course, sa point A, that is origin, 0, 0. Next coordinate, I use A, 0. So, A na yung ginamit ko, so, or any variable, and then 0, kasi kapantay lang naman siya, nandito lang siya sa x-axis. And then, yung point B, of course, ang x niyan ay 0. So, we have 0. And then, I left as my y-intercept as B. Kung dito ay 0B ang coordinates, of course, dito sa point C, ang katapat niyang x sa x-axis ay A, and then ang katapat niya sa y ay B. So, we have coordinates AB. So, after natin malabelan ng coordinates, we need to find the distance between AC and then between BD. Kasi sabi kanina, we need to prove that line segment AC is congruent to line segment BD. So, paano natin mapapatunayan na they are of equal length? Of course, we will use the distance formula. So, we have D equals the square root of the quantity x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus square of the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So, una natin isosolve ay sa line segment AC. So, ang coordinates ng A ay 0, 0. Ang coordinates naman ng C ay AB. So, by substitution, we will have D equals the square root of A minus 0 and then squared plus B minus 0 squared. And then let us solve. A minus 0, of course, that is equal to A, and B minus 0, that is equal to B. So we have D equals the square root of A squared plus B squared. And that is the distance between line segment at point A and then up to point C. And then, let us solve for the distance naman between B and D. So, ang coordinates naman ng B ay 0B, and then ang coordinates ng D ay A0. So, using again the distance formula, we have D equals the square root of the quantity x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus square of the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So, by substitution, we will have the square root of a minus 0 squared plus b minus 0 squared. And then, we will have d equals a squared plus b squared. So, kanina, yun din yung naging answer natin sa distance between A and C. Dito naman sa BD, ganun din. Square root of a squared plus b squared. Therefore, since line segment AC is equal to line segment BD, then line segment AC is congruent by line segment BD by substitution. Therefore, we can say that the line segment AC is congruent to line segment BD, then the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Now, let us have this activity para mas matuto tayong mag-label ng coordinates. So, name the missing coordinates in terms of the given variable. So, may ilan na tayong mga given variable, aalamin na lang natin yung missing. So, we have COME is a parallelogram. So, sa point E, ang coordinates niya ay 0, 0. Point M, ang coordinates ay A0. So, ito yon. And then, ang point C naman, BC, at ang nawawala naman ay yung point O, ang coordinates ng point O. So, kung mapapansin natin, simula dito sa point E hanggang point M, ang distance or ang coordinates ay A sa X and then 0 sa Y. Ngayon, kung hanggang dito sa point M ay A, paano kapag hanggang point O? So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung sobrang kulang dyan, simula sa point M hanggang sa katapat ng point O ay kasing laki ng point E up to point C. So, ibig sabihin, isang buo galing kay E papunta kay M plus idadagdag natin yung kapiraso na point E to point C. So, ibig sabihin, magkakaroon tayo ng A plus B. And then, ang katapat niya naman sa Y, ito katapat niya lang ay C. So, we have A plus B, C. That is the coordinates of point O. Yan, kasi minsan dito talaga ay gagamit ka ng common sense. Titignan yung maigi, ano yung kanyang mga katapat. Doon ka magkakaroon ng clue kung ano yung magiging coordinates niya. Okay, let us try another one. So, triangle RST is a right triangle with right angle RTS. V is the midpoint of RS. Midpoint po ang V. Ibig sabihin siya ay nasa gitna. So, we need to find the coordinates of point B. Dahil nasa gitna po ito, madali na natin makukuha ang kanyang coordinates. So, ang point T, of course, nasa origin siya. So, meron siyang coordinates na 0, 0. Simula dito hanggang point S, sa x-axis ay may 2A, 0. Dito naman sa R, we have 0, katapat niya kasi ay 0, and then 2B. Kung simula dito sa T, papunta sa S ay 2A at nasa gitna ang V, ang kanyang X ay kalahati ng 2A ay A. Ngayon naman sa Y-axis, kung simula sa T papunta sa R ay 2B at kalahati ang V, ibig sabihin ang coordinates niya sa Y ay kalahati po ng 2B. So we have AB. So sana na-gets nyo po ito. Okay, last one. Name the missing coordinates in terms of the given variable if triangle MTC is an isosceles triangle and point V is the midpoint of line segment CT. So, nasa gitna ulit ang V. So, simula sa point C, papunta sa point T. Yan, yung point T may coordinates na 6A0. madali na nating malalaman ang coordinates ng point V. Bakit? Kasi siya po ay midpoint, gitna. So, kalahati lang po nitong 6A, we have 3A. At dahil siya ay nasa x-axis lang, kanyang y ay 0 din. So, we have 3A, 0. So, alam na natin ang coordinates ng V, coordinates naman ng M. Meron na tayong y-intercept sa M, so x-intercept na lang. And then, dahil katapat ng M ang V, at ang V ay may x na 3A, of course, sa M ganun din. So, ang coordinates ng M ay 3AB.